What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade here again with another video for you. I've been paying close attention to everything that's been going on around us with all the narratives from the mainstream media, from all the protests, from a lot of the injustices, a lot of the corruption that we're seeing in our system right now, and it made me consider and wonder what's really going on. Is there something bigger at hand here? There's just a lot of inconsistencies with everything that's going on around us right now, and a lot of people are just sitting idly by, getting their powers and their freedoms taken away from them, dominantly by the government. You know, they're the ones that have essentially told us that you can't operate and own a business. You have to stay home for 3 months. Meanwhile, lots of small business owners are completely losing their businesses, and there's no amount of bailout can save them. People are getting sick, people are getting anxiety, people are getting depressed. There's a real issue that's being created here by this government-mandated lockdown. In addition to people being financially strapped with no way to work, and no way to go back to a job, and record unemployment that we haven't even seen. This far exceeds Great Depression in the 90s. What's really interesting to me is that there's a lot of angry people and a lot of division. You know, they started out with social distancing. They started out, telling people that they need to stay 6 feet apart from each other. And there's a lot of division. And what I'm realizing is a lot of this division is giving the government more power. It's not just the government. You look at all the other officials that are under the government, the health authorities. You look at the monetary policy that's going on. Not only has there been unprecedented levels of people losing their jobs, employment, but as a result of this, they're printing trillions and trillions of dollars, which is going to create a significant amount of inflation. I've been pondering the question with all this anger, and rightfully so. There's a lot of injustice going on in our economy, racial division, things of that nature. And I've been thinking about what the solution is here. How do we take back our power, and how do we absolutely give ourselves the power and the freedom to stop the corruption, to take back our own liberties, to become free people again? My answer has ultimately come back to buying Bitcoin, and I'm going to tell you why. This isn't a plug that I just want people to buy Bitcoin, because buying Bitcoin doesn't help me specifically. It helps everyone individually, and here's why. If you're sick of the corruption and the greed and the unlimited power of the government, you should buy Bitcoin. Why is that? Well, when you take away their power, you take away their funding. When you take away their funding, they no longer have anything to hold over you to get themselves voted into office. Politicians and bureaucrats do not care about you, and they don't care about me, unfortunately. What they care about is what they can promise you so that they can get reelected and they can stay in power. And it's unfortunate that that's the case, but that's really how it is right now. If we completely move to a decentralized, censorship-resistant, and free economic system that is completely outside US dollar or any other fiat monetary system, you are taking the power away from these politicians and these people that are threatening you with violence, that are threatening you with your freedoms, that are threatening you with fear. Buying Bitcoin is voting with your wallet, and that's saying that I don't want to be inside your system. I want to be in a better system that is democratic and free and peaceful. So that's another big reason. A lot of outrage with a lot of the George Floyd protests, and rightfully so. I mean, everyone should be treated equally, everyone should be treated fairly, and I understand that that's not going on right now. A lot of this is funded by the state, and a lot of this is funded by the government, and they want to control you. They want to divide us. They want to inspire fear, because when there's fear, then they have more control over telling us what we can and cannot do, especially with the curfews and other freedoms that are being taken away from us right now. You buy Bitcoin, you're again defunding all of these powers of control that is giving these people power and authority over you. You have the choice to opt out. Not a lot of people realize that by choosing to put your funds and your resources and everything into a decentralized cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, you're completely choosing to no longer fund these greedy politicians. If people no longer use the US dollar, then they can keep printing money all they want and no one's using it, then they don't have any power. Choose to decentralize, you're giving power back to the people. And that's really what's important to me, and that's why I got into Bitcoin in the first place, was personal freedom and self-sovereignty, so that I don't have to rely on anybody else, no governments. I don't have to rely on false promises. I can rely on myself, and I can trust that my money is not going to be debased, and they just can't print anymore. This is governed by mathematics. It's governed by a predetermined system that's verifiable and completely transparent. The blockchain, this is about as free as you can get, is by utilizing Bitcoin. And there's going to be a lot of people that spark fear and uncertainty and doubt that Bitcoin isn't stable, that Bitcoin is safe, that it's only used by criminals. And that's what the system wants you to think, because when they lose all their power, then they have no way to control you. So they're serving in their own self-interest. So if you really want to affect real change, opt out of the system that was predetermined for you. Completely choose a different financial system, because when they don't have funding, they don't have power. It's that simple. The only way, in my opinion, that we regain true power and true freedom again is by peacefully protesting the system that we're in right now. The only way that's really effective, unfortunately, is by people's wallet. Protest, and we can riot, and we can shout, and we can scream all day, but at the end of the day, if they have all the money, they have all the power. We opt into a different financial system, their money is meaningless. It's worthless. And without their money, they can't be voted into office, and they can't control us if we decide to use a completely incorruptible financial system known as Bitcoin. There are other cryptocurrencies that have a lot of innovation and that have a lot of promise as well, but by far, Bitcoin has the strongest network. It's the most powerful. It literally cannot be stopped by any single entity in the world. I don't care how strong they are. I don't care how they threaten it. I don't care if they make it illegal. It literally cannot be stopped. A lot of people don't realize how powerful that is, because it's decentralized. There's not one government, there's not one authority, there's not one single force on earth that can shut it down. Only way to shut down Bitcoin is to completely destroy the internet. Good luck with that happening. When we choose to opt into a decentralized, censorship-resistant financial system, take away all of the power of the people who forced you into their system. Think about it for a minute. Look at all the division. Look at all the inequality. Look at all the consolidation of power that's going on, and all the fear and uncertainty that people are living right now. This is all driven by money. This is all driven by control and power, just fueled by money. All through a centralized system, the Fed, that can print and set interest rates and do literally whatever they want. There's no checks and balances in our financial system anymore. There's no verifiable way that they won't print money on a whim. They printed more money in the last 6 weeks than they have in the past 8 years combined. This is ridiculous. The dollar is worthless. The dollar is controlled. The dollar is manipulated. I just want people to start taking back their power and to stop feeling helpless. Gain your power back, your sense of freedom back, when you feel like you have control with what's going on around you, when you have the ability to own and operate a business, when you have the ability to do as you see fit, to be peaceful, to create wealth, to do all of the things that we as human beings as a whole have the right to do. Choose a decentralized system. It doesn't necessarily have to be Bitcoin, but that has the biggest chance of survival because it's the strongest network. And there's a lot of adoption going on right now. I got into Bitcoin not to make money. I got into Bitcoin because of what it represents, with how powerful it is. When you realize that you can choose a system that cannot be corrupted or manipulated at the whims of powerful people, that is significant. That is so, so important. And that's why I believe in this. Feeling extreme amounts of pain, feeling a lot of distress, and it's unnecessary. There is another option that's already among us. It's Bitcoin. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, or just want to learn the fundamental basics of Bitcoin so that you have a better understanding of what your options are, please reach out to me. Leave a comment below. I will find you the right resources to answer your questions, because my goal with this channel and my goal with why I do what I do is to help protect people, give them safe ways to become self-sovereign, become your own bank. Don't depend on a system that has failed you time and time and time again. Vote with your wallet. You no longer use their financial system. Their power is gone. Voting is corrupt. Our democratic system right now is corrupt. This is how we take back our freedom. Money speaks. And it pains me to see everything that's going on right now with racial inequality, injustice, with financial devastation, because these governments have told you when to go out, when you can operate a business, what you can do, how long you can keep it open. That's too much power. With all of that power comes corruption and greed. Start taking back your power. You have the tools and resources to do it now. Don't look at this as an investment. Look at this as a new way of life, new way of freedom. Because when you opt out of their system, you become so much more powerful. And if we do this collectively, our world is going to change for the better. I firmly and honestly believe that, and I say that with the utmost sincerity. This is a system for the people, by the people that was born out of the ashes of the 2008 financial crash. We've all had enough of false promises, all had enough with them printing money so they can fund their own agendas. We just want to live peaceful, happy lives. We want prosperity. We deserve it. Our human right. Bitcoin does not care how old you are, what color your skin is. It doesn't matter where you were born, what your current economic or social status is. As long as you have an internet connection, you can have your own Bitcoin wallet. It's that simple. I'm going to leave some resources below for you to download some free wallets that I trust and I use personally on a daily basis. And I'm going to give you the cheapest resource that I know of where you can buy Bitcoin right now, the cheapest transaction fees and the cheapest way you can do it. Check the links down below in the description. Just wanted to come in, let people know that they have power and they have the ability to correct course with everything that's going on right now. You don't have to feel helpless. You don't have to feel like everything is being stripped away from you. Let's take everything back as a unified people. When we're divided, we are weaker. When we are united, we are stronger. And that goes for every aspect of our lives. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Crypto Renegade out.